Good afternoon. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Mr. Clay Paramore, followed by the invocation given by Mr. Philip Pinion.
When I think about graduation and the idea of moving on in life, I think of the words of the Apostle Paul, which say, "I implore you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling with which you have been called." As we stand here today as graduates, there are callings and there's paths that we'll take in our lives. And it's my prayer that we will reflect and represent those callings well. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Dear Lord, I thank you for today. I thank you for this ceremony and what it means for each individual here and each family member here supporting these graduates. Lord, I thank you for helping us attain these goals. And Lord, I pray for your grace and your blessings in the future as we attain future goals. May this day be a celebration for all here. I ask a blessing over this commencement, and it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Again, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Don Jeffrey, Vice Chancellor for Troy University, serving the Dothan campus. I want to welcome their students, faculty, staff, family, and friends, and especially the candidates for graduation. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the fall of 2013. I'd like to begin by recognizing our stage guest and ask that each person stand to be recognized and that the audience hold its applause until all have been introduced. To my right, Dr. Jim Reinhardt, Dean, College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Judson Edwards, Dean, Sorrell College of Business. Dr. Kathy Hildebrand, Dean, College of Education. Dr. James Ortego, College of Communication and Fine Arts Program Director. Dr. John Miller, Interim Dean, College of Health and Human Services. Dr. Diane Barron, Associate Provost and Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Earl Ingram, Senior Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs. Dr. Craig Lynch, our guest speaker, who will be formally introduced in a few minutes. Dr. James Marshall Bookout, Senior Vice Chancellor for Financial Affairs and Administration. Dr. John Dew, Senior Vice Chancellor for Student Services and Administration. Mr. Philip Pinion, Troy University Dothan Ambassadors. Dr. Diane Rosser Mims, Assistant Professor of Education, recipient of the Wallace Malone Award for 2013. Please join me in recognizing our stage guest. We have several special guests seated in the audience that I would like to recognize. Please stand as I recognize and call your name. Ms. Dr. Becky Ingram, Professor, College of Education, and wife, Dr. Earl Ingram. And Mrs. Betty Jane Jeffrey, wife, Dr. Don Jeffrey. Let's welcome. It is my privilege to introduce the Senior Vice Chancellor of Academics today. Dr. Ingram completed his BS degree in management and a Master's of Science degree in psychology and a PhD in industrial organizational psychology at Auburn University prior to joining Troy University in 1987. Dr. Ingram was also employed as a corporate director of human resources and planning and research and development at the West Point Prep-A-Rail. He served as chair. He served as the dean of Sorrell College of Business. He was also the vice chancellor for Global Campus. And in May 2011, he was appointed senior vice chancellor for academic affairs. In that capacity, he serves as chief academic officer for Troy University. It's my honor to introduce Dr. Earl Ingram.
Thank you, Dr. Jeffrey, and thank you for the outstanding leadership that you provide Troy University and the citizens of the Wiregrass area. On behalf of Troy University's Board of Trustees and Chancellor Jack Hawkins, Jr., who is unable to join us this afternoon because of a family emergency, it's my honor to both bring greetings and offer a few introductory comments. Last year, Troy celebrated its founding 125 years ago. Its motto in the beginning was to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act. Those founding principles are as appropriate set of guides today as they were then. Commencement celebrates both our continuing devotion to the founding principles and to our students who have benefited from these principles. It's also a time to say that for these graduates and their families, you can now have a big chunk of your lives back. And there are probably a few spouses and children here who are thinking at the very least, amen to that. I've heard it said that none of the so-called secrets to success will work unless you do, and work you have, getting to this milestone that we're celebrating this afternoon. As a matter of fact, I'll bet that almost everyone here present today has given a hand, put a shoulder toward, or maybe even a little gentle shove or two in making today's celebration possible. These graduates know they would not have gotten to where they are today without the support of two groups who deserve special recognition. The soul of the university is its faculty. As the chief academic officer of Troy University, I know the capabilities of the faculty well, and I am very proud of them. Let's take this opportunity to ask those faculty members here today representing Troy University's faculty to rise to be recognized so we may all thank them. Thank you. And graduates, I believe you didn't get here without the strong support of your families, and family values are an important part of Troy University's core beliefs. Will family members of the graduates please stand and allow us to recognize you for the support you have provided these graduates. Thank you for sharing your loved ones with us for the past year or two, or maybe a little bit more than that in some cases. Now to our graduates. Today is your day, the start of the payoff. You join an exclusive club. According to the latest census data, fewer than 20% of Alabama citizens hold a university degree. You will have more career options and additional opportunities for leadership in your communities. You'll also have a duty to inspire others who may wish to follow in your footsteps, daughters, sons, granddaughters, grandsons, maybe even a parent or two. So graduates, welcome to the alumni family of Troy University. You join over 140,000 successful Troy University graduates the world over, a group that includes NASA astronauts, a vice chairman of the Federal Reserve Board, senior leaders in the U.S. government, successful business leaders, healthcare providers, educators, public officials, and the list goes on. Your success along life's journey will add to those points of pride of your fellow graduates and your fellow alumni. By the way, the Alumni Association is providing you today with a graduation gift. 1 year free membership in the association. But I have been reminded that it's just free for 1 year. We hope and we expect that you will continue to add value to your degree by becoming dues-paying members of the Alumni Association and maintain the network that you have begun with the Troy family. This network can serve you for the rest of your life, maintaining friendships and opening doors for you. In time, you will realize that the value of your degree is not based on the standards that are in place today. Its value will either increase or decrease over time. For our part, rest assured that Troy University, with your help, will persist in increasing the value of your degree by continuing to raise the bar on quality and the prestige and the stature of your alma mater. This graduation ceremony is called commencement. Commencement may feel like an ending to something that you've been working on for many years, but it only means beginning. You have not reached the finish line, but only the starting line. Graduation is not an end, but a beginning. But I believe it'll be the beginning of an exciting journey for each of you graduates. You have the opportunity and the obligation to yourselves, your family, your country, and your communities to take the education you have received and make the best of it. You must use it to improve the quality of life and reputation of your communities and this nation. You must make use of it to serve and improve the quality of life of your families. No stranger to service is our commencement speaker, a recent gain by the healthcare professional community in the Wiregrass, a leader in medical education who is already making his mark here and who I have the pleasure to introduce this afternoon. Craig Lentz, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, serves as Dean and the Senior Vice President of the Alabama College of Osteopathic Medicine, ACOM, here in Dothan, Alabama, and brings with him more than 30 years of experience in clinical medicine and medical education. After receiving a Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering from Princeton University and attending the University of Pennsylvania's master's program in counseling psychology, Dr. Lentz received his doctorate of osteopathic medicine from Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. In 1989, he was conferred as a fellow in the Collegium of the Academy of he'll get it right when he says it, osteopathic directors and medical educators. Prior to joining ACOM in September of 2010, Dr. Lentz served as the Senior Associate Academic Dean and Associate Dean for Clinical Sciences at Lincoln Memorial University DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine, where he was one of 2 founding deans of the college. He previously served as Dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine of the Pacific at Western University and Chairman of the University of New England College of Osteopathic Medicine. Dr. Lentz has served as the Director of Medical Education for 3 family practice residency training programs in Waterville, Maine, Bangor, Maine, and Montclair, California. At Unicom, he founded and directed the medical school's Area Health Education Center from 1987 to 1989. Dr. Lentz holds board certifications from the American Board of Osteopathic Family Practitioners and the American Board of Emergency Medicine. Additionally, he is a past member of the American Osteopathic Association's Commission on Osteopathic College Accreditation and continues to chair accreditation visits to osteopathic colleges for COCA. He serves on the board of directors of the National Board of Osteopathic Medical Examiners, has served from 2001 to 2010, and he travels throughout the country serving as a team leader and inspector of AOA's Osteopathic Postgraduate Training Institution's internship programs. In addition, he has served as a member of on-site reaffirmation teams for regional accreditation throughout the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools at many institutions, including Tulane University and East Tennessee State University. Please join me in providing a Trojan welcome to Dr. Craig Lentz, our keynote speaker for this afternoon's ceremony. Dr. Lentz.
Dr. Jeffrey, where is he? That takes away from my time or not to be able to speak? I'm in big trouble with that. Thank you very much for being asked to be here, and it truly was Dr. Jeffrey that called me, and I'm very honored to be here and to be a part of this community. I want you all to know that since I got here a little over 3 years ago, we are now partnering with Troy University in a post-bac program as well as a fairly unique program that allows our medical school graduates to attain their medical degree and an MBA in 4 years. So we look forward to future partnerships and strengthening our relationship with Troy University. I guess as I was listening to that introduction, there are sometimes I honestly have an out-of-body experience when I share a little bit about where I came from and what I've done in my past, and sitting there and going like, who the heck is he talking about? I was born in a town less than 1,000 people in Minnesota in the middle of farm country. And what I'm going to try to do at this point is my foundation of what I want to present has to do with trying to share some of those 30 years of experience that I have that was just described in a way that, having known that I've made mistakes along the way and learned how to get to where I am, maybe you can use them now and not have to take 30 years and go through all the mistakes that I made. Might save you some heartache and make you more successful. So I do intend to share personal experiences. Many years ago, I sat where you're sitting now, particularly for those getting their bachelor's degree, and I sat there and graduated and had no job to go to. Now, I sincerely hope that everyone has one to go to, but if there is at least one person in the audience that doesn't have that, some of this that I'm going to talk about will perhaps make some suggestions for you. I know that we have tough economic times, but I think I'm going to have some encouraging advice for you, given that that's where I started many years ago, as I said. One thing I would advise you, and this goes for medicine, it goes for, and that means healthcare organizations, like we're an academic university, we're an academic division of the Southeast Alabama Medical Center. We employ 2,600 people in this community. It's a large organization. And many people work for universities and medical centers and businesses, and more people do, and I would suggest to you that you're probably going to have a boss in your employment for the rest of your life, no matter how much you get promoted. And I'm going to suggest to you as well that the attitude that you take into that reality is going to have everything to do with your success and your peace and happiness. And remember, too, that even in medicine, we look at people who come in and who I've taken care of for so many years. Most of my career was in emergency medicine. And those patients, in a certain sense, are our customers, and we need to take good care of them. So think about that whenever you get a job and whatever organization you work for. Think about that, taking good care of those people that are coming to you for help. Well, aerospace engineering, how'd I get here? I'm not too sure sometimes. But I think that brings me to one point of advice that I have for you that I feel pretty strongly about. I say to you that no matter what you're headed for after you graduate, make sure and take whatever job you can get. That is the approach that I have taken. And once you're in an organization, do the best that you can for that organization. Be ready to do anything that you get offered to do. Sometimes even if you're not ready for it or prepared, and that's the idea. You may have a degree that doesn't fit exactly what you've been asked to do, but I suggest to you that you have a positive attitude and say, well, I can do it anyway. I can do it anyway. And there may be some people in the audience that are old enough to remember an actor by the name of Lee Marvin. And he had a job that he wanted really bad in a movie called Cat Ballou, and it involved riding a horse. And they came up to him and they said, I think you'd be good for the part. Can you ride a horse? And he said, like the wind. Never rode a horse before in his life, not ever. So you can do that. You can go out there and you do the best you can with what you have. Now, once you get that job, no matter what it is, whether it's working as a laborer, driving a bulldozer, working on a farm, hauling bales, or maybe being a police person or a policeman or a corrections officer in one of our prisons, I want you to do the best you can at whatever that is. Because somewhere around the bend it can lead to something else. Whatever you do, no matter what it is, and that's what I've tried to do the best that you can. But on the other hand, don't be afraid to set your aspirations high. And then I was lucky enough to have a mentor way back when that said, Craig, I think you can go to Princeton University. And I came off of a family that didn't go past high school, didn't own their own home, and didn't really know about that at the time. And I said to him, what's Princeton University? He said, well, just work with me. I think you can do this. And it came to be. Sometimes you have to trust in God or fate or whatever you believe in, when sometimes it results in a good turn or a wrong turn. I will honestly share with you that I had a job in Maine when I was early involved in education, and got into kind of a political conflict with one of the other directors of the program and stood up for what I thought was best, and I still would do it today, and they couldn't settle the fight between either of us, and the CEO came in and said, we got a solution, Craig. And I said, great, thinking they're going to get rid of that other guy that doesn't know education. He said, we're getting rid of both of you. Well, that was the solution. What I'm getting to in terms of trusting where you're going and that God may have another calling for you, another opportunity, is that those kind of things can turn into opportunity. And it led me to going up to Eastern Maine Medical Center, and it was actually an advancement in my career. So you need to have faith too, I guess is what I'm saying. Now here's another key to success that I'm suggesting, and I've already done it today. I think it's Pam over there. Is it Pam? Raise your hand, Pam. See Pam? I never met her before. I'm suggesting to you that once you get that job, that one of the most important things that you'll have in that position, and it goes for everybody here at the table, up on the stage here, and where I work, is to build relationships. And the way you do that, and I've really honestly only found this and really been identified it pretty well in my last 10 years, I would say, is that just like I did with Pam before we went upstairs, I went over and said hello. Started asking her why she was here. Did she have somebody graduating here? She has a husband who's a faculty member here. And I've used that not in a way that's in any way manipulative or anything like that. It's an interest that you can demonstrate in people. And if you demonstrate that with your colleagues and get to know them better, when those issues of conflict or disagreement come up later, it'll be a much smoother road to trying to fix those than if you have no ties and no understanding of each other. And I swear, there's something called Kevin Bacon and the 8 degrees of separation. Have any of you heard of that? I see some head shaking. Well, this is sort of my degrees, 1 or 2 degrees of separation. If you start talking to someone and finding out about someone, you will find that there are ways that you know each other. This world is much smaller than you think it is. And you get to know each other, and you have connections you never thought of. Friends who are friends of yours and theirs as well, and it leads to nothing but better feelings between the two of you. You just have to do it with a genuine interest in who you're talking to. I actually had that happen. I was on the Hill advocating for healthcare legislation this past week in the senator's offices. And we had two of the staffers there, and I asked, how much time do we have to present our issues to you? And they said 20 minutes. And never met them before. And then in the course of things, started talking to them and learning about them, and pretty soon we're laughing and seeing how we were connected in some ways. And that 20 minutes turned into 45. Gave us the time to present our issues on behalf of Alabama, and education and loan programs and the kind of things that we wanted to talk to. So that's probably a living demonstration of what I'm talking about. Next thing I want to talk to you about is feuds and grudges. Just remember this: hatred or anger or a grudge is a poison that you give to yourself. I really believe that. And I won't go into any details. I can tell you one. We had a partnership when I first went into practice in Maine. There were three of us, and it had a dissolution that was horrible. We fought over everything. Each of us spent about $100,000 on lawyers, over $10,000 worth of difference in the settlement, and just held that grudge, and it'll tear you up. It'll tear you up. So, any Zac Brown band fans here? Come on, there must be some. I promise I won't sing it though. And one of his songs says, "Keep your heart above your head and your eyes wide open. You're not the only ship on the ocean. Save your strength for things that you can change. Forget the ones you can't. You got to let it go." So just learn to do that, because it'll eat you up. Now there's another thing, and that's failure. How do we face failure? And I promise you, I've faced failure. I've made mistakes. There's a former coach, and I could not think of his name. He's a famous coach for, I think, the Houston Oilers. Recently died. Bum Phillips, thank you. And he said, you're only a failure if you blame someone else for the things that have happened to you. So I got two categories of bad things that can happen to you. One is, scenario one, wrong place, wrong time. Hit by a car, cancer, serious illness. There's all kinds of things that can happen that are not good. We know that. You've got family that have had that happen. I dealt with it for years in the ER. And then there's scenario two, the one I really want you to think about, and that is, you brought it on yourself. I've done that too. You brought it on yourself. If you really, it's the, I want you to know, this isn't just for undergraduates, for graduates. These are so applicable to our medical students who are going to be professionals, and that is to say to them, don't be a victim. I mean, even medical students come in with a dog ate my homework, okay? No, the dog, you don't even have a dog. Okay, at least if you're going to come in, bring the dog with you, okay? And then some other simple advice that goes with that. To your job, arrive early, leave late. Because I guarantee you, if you get in late on a frequent basis, that doesn't look good. And then you're going to be saying, I had a flat tire, dog ate my homework, and then you got to make up all this stuff, and that's not good. One other thing, the families were mentioned here, and I said, I wanted to say, have respect for your elders. My daughter got her driver's license. Lori, are you here? She's not here. Good. Okay, she's down in West Palm Beach. So I can talk about her. You're not anybody's going to call her, right? Okay, when she got her driver's license, they did something to her at the motor vehicles department. She came back, and I told my wife, Linda, I said, she's not the same person anymore. That driver's license has messed up her brain. I don't know what it did. We couldn't talk to each other. We fought for 5 or 6 years, and that finally came around. I think she came around. And she figured out in 5 years how much I had learned in those 5 years. She was just amazed. And what I'm suggesting is that, you know, you're going to have moms and dads tell you all kinds of things. You're not doing this right. Just listen. I'll have them not listen to this one. Just listen real quiet. Agree with them. There's arguing with them is just no use anyway. So why don't you just go ahead and agree with them? And one of the things too I wanted to say was keep that sense of humor. Now, I tell you, I worked in the ER for over 30 years, and once in a while we'd have a CEO come down and saying, you know, there's entirely too much laughing in here. Well, we're not laughing in front of patients when they've got a disaster that we've just taken care of, but if you get too serious about things, it's going to drag you down. Keep that sense of humor. It's going to be very valuable to you in life, especially when things ain't going right. Loyalty to your boss. Remember I said you're going to be working for somebody? Here's what I'd offer to you. I think if you look at the data out of either any of the, well, we've got MBA experts here, I probably could get some data from them, that I'm going to, and they should correct me right now if I'm wrong, that most people, that about 50% or more people think that their boss is an idiot. Okay? Make stupid decisions, I don't like them. Well, guess what? What I'm suggesting is that that's the person that is doing your evaluations, your promotions, and he or she can be a mentor. So I've got some advice for you. And that isn't because I've made the mistake of, you know, there's always gossip. You're going to work in a big place and go like, well, you know, and you sit down with somebody else that feels that your boss is an idiot too. And you got the same boss. Only that one is sort of in with the boss and goes and says that you've been saying that they're an idiot. That doesn't work good. They really do deserve, as long as you work there, they deserve your loyalty. Now, I've come up with a solution to if you get unhappy with your boss, what you should be doing is looking for another job quietly, and until you get that job, give that boss and that job everything you've got. Everything you can possibly give to them. They deserve that because they're paying you. Okay? And if you end up being in a company where you have a chance for advancement, one of the things that I had earlier on here, and I do have her name someplace, but that's not really important. General Motors just announced a brand new president and CEO who's a woman. And she started with that company 33 years ago, and she started as an intern and just worked her way up. If you keep that loyalty to that company, people move on, they get old, they retire. You keep working at it and always make your boss look good if you have a chance. There's no boss in the world that likes to be blindsided by some issue. That's not fun. And that can be a way to being promoted and moving on and moving up. So that's something that your boss will appreciate. And then there's another pretty simple one. You got to look good to be good. Nothing wrong with that, okay? And if I'm out working in the yard or using my pressure washer to clean off the driveway, I don't really look good then, I admit that. But when I come to work and when our medical students come in and when they see patients and when residents see patients, I expect them to look good because the patients that they're seeing deserve that. And I think anybody that you take care of, no matter who it is, they deserve that as well. Now, I got one qualifier on that. I'm going to look around and see if people agree with this. If your wife says to you, "Is that what you're wearing?" that's not really a question. Okay? I'm pretty smart. I figured that out after 20 years. My next sentence is, "What should I be wearing?" Okay? So I have a dress code at home, but the other thing that points out is that, remember I said no matter what organization you're in, I have a boss, he's the president of Southeast Alabama Medical Center, Ron Owen. Great president. Great person for this community. Well, I got a boss at home, and what I pretty well figured out is I ain't the boss of anything. So it's a very fancy title, but anyway. Modern communication. this is really important because I've been in education long enough, and while you young people probably had emails when you, I don't know, were in grade school or something, I'm feeling old at this point. Just remember this, and this came out of a communication we had in a presentation about abusive behavior at work. What's the E in email for? Anybody know? Electronic. Nope. Anybody else? It's for evidence. And I'm not kidding. Okay, that's what my granddaughter Lily says. She was only 2 years old and she was saying, I'm not kidding. I promise you, but it goes along with my advice on human communication. Email, and I've started telling this to medical students about 4 or 5 years ago. I said, don't put anything in an email that is explosive, critical, going to make somebody mad. Go see them. Ask to see them in private and talk to them in private and tell them what it was that you're upset about. But when it comes to evidence, I mean, we had a lawyer tell us that they can get a forensics person and they can find anything in your computer that they need to, and that's why it's for evidence. But when it comes to handling conflict, that's another piece that I've begun to advise our medical students. People can get into conflict in public sometimes, but I would advise you that as soon as that starts, as soon as the yelling and screaming starts, the listening stops. It's like nuclear war. If you have two people in conflict and they have people around them, they have forgotten what all they can think about is their egos and making sure that they're coming out number one. So ask people to step aside, meet them in private, and try to communicate and get eye contact. That's what email doesn't do. It doesn't give you a chance to read somebody else's body language, to see what they, and ask for clarification. It's just firing off a barrage and an attack. So ask for those meetings in private. Now, let's say you get in a meeting, and this is the next thing. I'm almost done, I promise. Is Dr. Jeffrey going like all looking at his clock? And am I doing okay? We all make mistakes and offend people. I've done my share of it. So I would suggest to you, and there's some excellent books on this, and it's true. In our society, in human society, apology is a very powerful tool. And I shouldn't even say the word tool. It's a very powerful force between two people. Now, there's scenario one and there's scenario two. And one of my areas of academic expertise, because of working in the ER, is presenting on domestic violence. Scenario one is the person, and it's usually the person, the violence perpetuator, is it goes, I'm sorry, it's never going to happen again, and then it happens again. I'm sorry, it's never, and it keeps going on and on. That's an abuse of that very powerful, powerful human message. So I encourage you to use it. If you get into a situation and you're trying to solve a conflict and you now understand that you've offended them, then you can say, I'm really sorry, and mean it. People can read it. If you mean it, they'll read it. But the key is, apology is not any good. A true apology is going to be followed by a change in your behavior, a change in your behavior toward the person who you've offended. That's the way to make a true apology. Overall, I think that you have been prepared by Troy University to have the kind of tools that you need to be a success in life. And I hope that some of the things that I've said to you today will add to it. And I would be truly humbled if in a year or 2 or 3 years of some piece of advice that I've offered to you over my 30 years of experience would be something that you would use to change your life and make it better. I wish you all the very best in your future, and I'm sure everyone here, particularly your family, is proud of your achievement, and the very best of luck to you. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Lentz, I'm thinking about scenario 1 and scenario 2. Scenario 1 would have been that you had been at my commencement and I had taken heed to at least half of what you said. And scenario 2 is the way it turned out that I lived my life.
Will the candidates for the associate degree please rise? Dr. Ingram, this candidate has completed all of the requirements for the associate degree, and on behalf of the faculty, I recommend that the degree be conferred.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the laws of the state of Alabama, it's my pleasure to confer upon you the associate degree which you have earned.
Congratulations. Please be seated. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise? Dr. Ingram, these candidates have completed all of the requirements for the bachelor's degree, and on behalf of the faculty, I recommend that degree be conferred.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the laws of the state of Alabama, it's my pleasure to confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree which you have earned. Will the candidates for the master's degree please rise? Dr. Ingram, these candidates have completed all the requirements for the master's degree, and on behalf of the graduate faculty, I recommend that the degree be conferred. Upon the recommendation of the graduate faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the laws of the state of Alabama, it's my pleasure to confer upon each of you the master's degree which you have earned.
Congratulations. Please be seated.
At this time, we will begin conferring the degrees.
Will the graduate receiving the associate's degree in the College of Arts and Sciences please come forward to accept your diploma? Tony Alfonso Amerson. Will the graduates receiving the bachelor's degree in the College of Arts and Sciences please come forward to accept your diplomas? Nancy Young. Michael K. Kinman, Jr. Erica Monique Stewart. Shakira Tanika Moore, cum laude. Priya Patel. Tabitha Annette Powers. Ashley Danielle Bowen. Jesse Stephen French. Susan B. Greenwood, cum laude. Charles A. Kai, cum laude. Crystal S. Shorter. Pamela Lee Wilson. Pandori. Lisa Ann Pandori, cum laude. Paulette Marvette Skipper. Queen Elizabeth Ali, summa cum laude. Miranda Lynn Freeman, summa cum laude.
Will the graduates receiving the bachelor's degree in the Sorrel College of Business please come forward to receive your diplomas? Mara Lee Fay, cum laude. Alicia Beth Hyatt. Jessica Wheelis Knowles. Christopher Bryn Miller. Katrina Chong Murphy. Jinfeng Zing. Anne Marie Benson, magna cum laude. Robert L. Burrs. Jennifer R. Lewis. Chantel N. Mitchell Sykes. Kevin Javon Barnes. Sheena Yvette Fanning. Laverne Dias Hefner. Andrew D. Sharp, cum laude. Carrie Elizabeth Skipper. Jennifer Suzanne Green. Wanda Renee Williams.
Will the graduates of the bachelor's degree in the College of Communication and Fine Arts please come forward? Philip Michael Pinion, magna cum laude. Donna L. Smith.
Will the graduates of the bachelor's degree in the College of Education please come forward? Marina A. Anderson. Takia Marie Coakley. Janet A. Daniels. How do you say your last name? Destiny Deshanes, magna cum laude. Christina Marie Glover, cum laude. Lanye Latrice Harris. William Joshua Hoover, summa cum laude. Gloria Dean Pierce Horn. Lois Catherine Jackson. Ashley Shea Johnston. Maria G. Mata. Kristen E. Miller. Jordan Martin Price. Edward Shaw III. Heather Elise Smith. Toika Nicole Smith. Amanda Swift. Thaisa J. Thompson. Charlotte K. Trussell, magna cum laude. Sabrina Dale Crabtree, magna cum laude. Jessica Marie Whidden, summa cum laude. Teresa Marie Starr, summa cum laude. Lisa Trammell, cum laude. Kevin Dean Bond, cum laude. Katie Michelle Dunn, summa cum laude. Jessica Ann Echeverris, summa cum laude. Lauren Abigail Goolsby, summa cum laude. Mary Melena Sullivan Martin. Brandon Bishop McCardle, magna cum laude. Audrey Lynn McCrae, magna cum laude. Ashley Nicole Meeks, magna cum laude. Travis Neal Patterson, magna cum laude. Lisa Crumpton Sells, summa cum laude. Crystal Shawn Smith. Stacy H. Varner, cum laude. Chelsea Hollis Hatcher. Susan Denise Newsom, summa cum laude. Amanda K. Phillips, cum laude.
With the graduates receiving their bachelor's degree in the College of Health and Human Services, please come forward to receive your diploma. Clarissa Fare Biggums. Kimberly Naomi Knight.
Will the graduates receiving the master's degree in the College of Arts and Sciences please come forward to accept your diploma? Nafisha Glenn.
Will the graduates receiving the master's degree in the Sorrell College of Business please come forward to receive your diplomas? Jennifer Nicole Cherry. Bradley Allen Cox. Allison Caroline Goolsby. John Ashley Hicks. Matthew Elliott Jones. Kayla Kristen Markle. Randall Scott Parnell. Jenna Nicole Peel. John Michael Taylor. Sin Zhu. Crystal Ann Hernandez. Eric Victor Perez.
Will the graduates of the master's degree in the College of Education please come forward to receive your diploma? Whitney Amber Cleveland. Diana Forbes. Robert O. Holstrom. Errol Angus Griffin. Adam Michael Johnson. Stacy Elizabeth Whitten. Casey Lee Cameron. Retha Barnes. Shaylee Angela Moore. Lindsay Brooke Odom. Casey McGriff Waters. Crystal Aurora Reed.
At this time, Mr. Clay Paramore will lead us in the singing of our alma mater. You can find the words printed in the commencement program on page 5. Please stand as we sing together.
Upon the mighty walls of Troy, we meet our lifelong friends, to grow in knowledge, truth, and strength. Our journey never ends, with the promise of the future and the guidance of the past. We pledge a solemn vow to thee, loyal everlast. So raise our mighty Trojan sword, a beacon to the world. Throughout the ages brightly shines the guiding light of Troy.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause to these graduates one more time. Before we bring this ceremony to a close, please help me thank the people who make this special event possible. Our soloist, Clay Paramore, our pianist, Sharon Tolleson, faculty marshals, Karen Morris, Susan Green, faculty marshal, Dinah Rosser Mims, members of the Beta Phi Honor Society who serve as ushers, and finally, the outstanding staff on the Dothan campus. These proceedings are now coming to a close. Please remain in your seats. Please remain standing for the benediction, and I would ask the audience to remain in their seats or in place until the graduates, the faculty, and the platform party have exited the arena. Mr. Pine.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, once again, we thank you for this day and everything that it means for these graduates and the families gathered here. Lord, I speak a blessing over each graduate as they go forth into this next step of life. And I pray for your blessing as they reach for the highest goals in their lives. Lord, once again, we thank you for everything that you've done and everything that you mean to us. And it's your name I pray. Amen.